Yeah. Hello and welcome, Inspired Podcast community. This is your new episode. My name is Caroline, and my today's guest is Rex Sikes. Hello, how are you doing today?
I'm fantastic, Caroline, and I'm better now being with you. Thank you for
Oh,
having me.
thank you for saying yes to our Inspired Podcast interview. This is exciting, and I want to introduce you to the audience, or you do it yourself, but I want to mention where we met. And I was the participant of the self-confidence camp. They changed the name by the Napoleon Hill Institute. It was end of 2022. I remember this, but I was not live attending. I watched the recording, and then I caught you in the VIP area, and I'm so happy that we meet now because my confidence increased, and now I'm able to do these interviews. Hello, and please introduce you to the audience.
Well, hi, I'm Rex Sikes, and I'm an author of the book that you see behind me. It's a fantastic book. It's Life on Your Terms. It's about creating the life that you want. I'm a speaker and a trainer and a presenter. I've been doing it for 50 years. I got involved in Napoleon Hill when I was 6 years old and have been studying him and actually teaching him most of my life. So I'm also known for neurolinguistic programming and whole brain learning and accelerated learning and a master hypnotherapist and many other things sorry about that, innovator of some programs and tools that you can use to transform your life. And I've been happy to travel around the world and have people fly in from all around the world to come and visit me and study and help transform their lives. So that's who I am, I guess, in a nutshell. And I also work with the Los Angeles Times. I'm involved with the Napoleon Hill Foundation and the Napoleon Hill Institute, and so I'm surrounded by giants and wonderful people like yourself and others who help make this world a more marvelous place.
Oh, thank you so much for the introduction. And my podcast is all about inspiration. So this is what moves us and motivates us as well. And my first question is, what inspires you?
So many things inspire me. I mean, looking outside and seeing a beautiful sunset or a beautiful view inspires me. I'm filled with awe. I love life. I love being on the planet. I think it's just absolutely amazing and beautiful. I have two amazing children, so family inspires me. I have two amazing girl dogs. They inspire me. Um, because what it is about infinite possibilities and resources and opportunities that are available to us. And we're on the planet at a particular time. Maybe we've been here before, maybe we haven't. I mean, everybody has a different version of what goes on. But while we are here, we either get to participate in goodness and greatness, or we get to be okay or ho-hum. So the journey is what really inspires me. And I will say this, and people may think it's crazy, but hardships inspires me, problems inspire me. And not that I want them, but I understand that they come and they help us to get out of our comfort zone if we're wise enough to know that and smart enough to take advantage of it. Then anything that comes our way, whether it's a person that we don't like or a situation or an event or a circumstance or something, it's designed to help us to move. Whether there's a God or the universe, making it happen or not, I don't care. It's most of my significant changes have come through tragedy or through disaster or through problems. They don't come when I'm sitting on the couch watching TV and eating donuts and just going, oh, or when I'm really happy and elated, that's great. But when, most innovation in the world has happened as a result of a need to change something or to correct something or to enhance something or to make something better. And so all of those things tend to inspire me.
Oh, that's so true. I love what you said. You are inspired by the journey because also we don't know the how when we set a goal, and the how will show up. And this is the most exciting part. Thank you so much for sharing. And my next question is, who inspires you? You mentioned Napoleon Hill. You came across his books at the age of 6. Who else is
Oh,
inspired?
there's so many. I have a daily blog called Daily Inspiration and Gratitude. And just this morning, I was writing the blog for tomorrow. I've done this for like I don't know, 15 or 20 years, a daily blog. I've never missed a day. And if I'm in the desert or in the mountains or in an island somewhere where there's no Wi-Fi, I write in advance, how many for longer than I'll be gone in case I don't get back in time. And then, the system takes care of dropping them daily. But I just today listed a ton, not a ton, but more than a dozen authors and speakers from ancient times to more modern times, the early 20th century, really, who inspire me. When I was 3, my parents put me in an acting class and dancing class and acrobatic classes, so I was learning to entertain, and I wanted to be an actor. And I was raised in a church that was Catholic, and they had, the bishop and the priests and the nuns, and I thought these people have a connection with God, and I want that. So I asked my mom if we had any, like spiritual books and books I didn't know the name for it, like motivational books or inspirational books at the time, but to read me books. And we had Khalil Gibran, we had, How to Win Friends and Influence People, Napoleon Hill, we had the Bhagavad Gita, we had, different things. So she started to read. The Magic of Believing by Claude Bristol was one of my first books. So she would read daily, and on weekends we'd watch movies. So I got both the mystic stuff and the acting stuff. And to this day, I'm an actor, a filmmaker, a producer, a director, and I'm also an inspirational coach or trainer and presenter of these things. So there's Napoleon Hill, there's Charles Hannell, there's Wallace Wattles, there's Florence Scovel Shinn, there's Elsie Benedict. There's Robert Collier, who's wonderful. I don't know if I said Wallace Wattles yet, but there's Atkinson's and Quimby. I mean, there's people, and then you can go back to the Stoics. You can go to Buddha, Lao Tzu, Alan Watts. I mean, there's so many different people who have contributed, and if people look at it from the ancient times to today, the one thing that you notice is that truth remains, and that is attitude is the number one predictor for success in the world. Your mindset, if you learn to manage your mindset and your emotions, then you manage your speech and your behaviors. You can accomplish anything that you put your mind to. Napoleon Hill said it very simply by saying, if you can conceive it and believe it, then you can achieve it. So if you use your imagination and you have the idea and you commit to it, and the thing that's really important that people miss is, it starts with, a clarity of knowing what you want, and then the passion to make it happen, and then the certainty that you will do that. And then he provided a formula way back, then, and as have others, but he provided this formula of how you make that happen. And so if you follow the formula and you follow the steps, and so I'm going to say it this way. I always say it's dog crap or diamonds. You have a choice. You either pick the good stuff or you pick the not so good stuff. And if you consider something a problem, it's a problem. If you consider something as a blessing, it's a blessing. So your mindset matters, your attitude matters. So celebrate all of it, and then you win all the way around.
Oh, yes, we are all winners. And thank you so much. I love it. You have a blog, and I would like to put the link in the show notes, of course, of the podcast. Wow, I'm inspired now.
Yes. By the way, did you just say about the book?
Yes.
Is that what you just said? You wanted to put the book
link
in?
The blog, your blog, but we put all
my blog. We can do that. It's very simple. It's gratitudeactivator.com, but you can put it in the show notes.
That sounds good. I started studying Think and Grow Rich as new, and gratitude every morning at 5:30. Now in my 5:30, I started it, and I read 1 page per day. This is really intense, and I love it. So my next question is,
let me just say that's a beautiful practice, and if more people did it, the world would even be a nicer place. So thank you for doing that, because it's people like you and me and other people who actually engage in setting their mindset right in the beginning of the day by doing something like that help contribute to the well-being of all of us.
Yeah, that's so true. Okay, this is amazing. And my next question is, how do you inspire other people? You mentioned your blog. What else? Then you have a book.
Oh, a book. Well, I've been doing workshops and training programs for 50 years. One of the things that I love to do is to meet people and to gather with people, in classes and workshops and seminars, or otherwise, and to be able to share principles and practices, methods, strategies, approaches, formulas, whatever it is, to help people transform their life. When I was younger as an actor in Hollywood, in my teens and 20s, I started to teach acting with a acting coach of mine. So I was teaching the children's class, and then I graduated to teaching adults, and then teaching, directing for film and acting for film and things like that. And I'm a meditator. I've been meditating most of my life, and hypnosis. And so I've been teaching all these things, from a fairly young age. And I started doing workshops and seminars in the 70s, and started offering them to business people. And then as I got involved with other things like neurolinguistic programming and stuff, I started to develop my own stuff. I have a program called Mind Design, and a program which is about how do you have a happy life? How do you make the inside of you so wonderful that the outside pales by comparison, that is so that you walk around, transforming, where you go. How to get people to do what you want without begging, pleading, whining, or guilt tripping, which is about how to communicate effectively and be influential and persuasive without forcing people or trying to put power over people or have you win and them lose, but to create a communicator, someone who can communicate well, whose interests are the other person's, what's in if it's in your heart, the interest of the other person, then you communicate far more effectively. And then everybody wins. So I have those. I've got programs on Tesla and Einstein and using your imagination and creativity to be able, in law of attraction, how to manifest and change your thoughts. So that's that, plus the blog, which is a daily blog that's available on the internet. I have a YouTube channel. I do a TV show. I've been working with the Los Angeles Tribune and did a TV show for them. And so I do I'm online a lot in different ways, and in public life as well. I mean, offline as well in live events.
That's impressive. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
And what are your gifts and talents?
I think my gift is a sense of wanting to be in a world that's better for everyone. I mean, I know that doesn't sound like, well, you're a gifted basketball player or pianist. I love acting. I love filmmaking. I'm good at troubleshooting. I'm really good at spotting problems and figuring out how to, fix them. I'm really good at being in an emergency or crisis situation and knowing kind of how to respond or where to respond. I mean, I'm not an EMT or a firefighter or a first responder. I probably could have been a good one. I'm good at negotiating and communicating. I train, and consult for attorneys and and different salespeople, marketing, business people. But I would say that all of those, different kinds of things that I like to do come from a really desire to, or what my gift would be is an insatiable appetite for the good things in life, regardless of what's going on, and a curiosity as to how we can make that happen, and a willingness to share that with other people. And that's what I've been doing all my life. It's because I love being with other people. When you're a seminar leader, I mean, when you're in the front of the room, a lot of people think, oh, you're the guy or you're the gal, you're the person, who, I flew here to see. And I'm standing there thinking, wow, look at all these people who showed up and what I get to learn from and who I get to know. And they have different talents and abilities and experiences that I don't. And so it's like being at a smorgasbord or a festival where I get to participate with people I would never have otherwise met. I'm good at connecting people too, and especially good at connecting people up with their resources and their opportunities.
It's amazing. Thank you so much. Yes, you think it is shifting of perspective, right? When you are in the room, everyone is watching you, but you learn so much from everyone else as well.
Yeah, and that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand. I mean, I'm the luckiest person in the room.
Yes, you are, and I am today because you said yes. Thank you.
But I am today too.
Yeah, it's a win-win.
Yeah.
Okay, what is your goal for 2024, or some of your projects? Maybe you have some projects this year.
We relaunched my show, Create Your Best Life with Rex. I've got a co-host. His name is Danny Walsh. He's an incredible internet marketing maverick and guru. He knows all about the ins and outs of marketing and sales and all sorts of good stuff. He's a an advocate for personal change and transformation. And he loves Napoleon Hill and the related, resources. So we're doing a show together, which my original show, Create Your Best Life with Rex, was just me as the host, and I would have celebrity guests, whether authors, speakers, actors, or others. So we're doing that, and we're launching rexsikes.tv, which is a new page where everything will be kind of in one place, and you'll be able to see everything that's happening and going on. I've got a lot of different projects and programs I'm doing in the next month, on the 1st through the 7th of May. It will time us for 2024, but I'm doing, I'm a producer, co-host, and partner with the Los Angeles Tribune, and we're doing a leadership summit, 7 days, with some really big speakers like Brian Tracy and Ty Lopez and Russell Brunson and Mark Victor Hansen, Michelle Lecter, and others who are participating to discuss leadership over the 7 days. And let's see, it's I don't have it in my head. LA Leadership Week.com. I have to look to see what the thing is. I apologize for being remiss, but that's coming up. And if you register, there's also a networking event for people, so they can participate and benefit by getting to know so many of the cool people who are part of this summit. I'm doing a live event with Dr. Joe Vitale in May in California, and just so many other amazing things that I'm pleased to say I'm involved with. I'm building more courses and reaching out to more people and doing a lot of work that way as well. And I'm just trying to find that link for you. But we can put it together later if you want, and when you put links out.
Yes, we will post it, definitely. So thank you so much. This is inspiring. I will show up at the at your event. It's amazing. I love
yeah, please do. Oh, and by the way, my show records streams live every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Central. So that's going to be about, I guess, maybe 10 o'clock your time at nighttime. Is that correct?
You said 7 hours? Yeah, then it's 10 p.m. Yes, 10 p.m. is a nice time to watch live events. You know what? I got up for a podcast interview at 2 a.m. in the morning because I wanted to do it. Absolutely. I was invited and I had no other time to choose. So I I woke up 2 a.m. and I did the interview.
Oh, that's beautiful. If you love it, it's not a hardship, is it? You do it because you want to do it. It's a fantastic thing. But I have that link if you want it. It is LA Leadership Week. .com, LALeadershipWeek.com, and then people can register. And also, by the way, can I say one more thing? And then my book right there that you see, I have a thing on the thing that says rexsikes.com book. If people go and get the book, they can use that link to get my book. But if they purchase my book, I want to give your viewers, your audience, a special gift, and that is I have an online training that's valued at $497 on mastery, about your skills and your abilities, mastering your mindset, your heart set, your speech, and your behaviors to be able to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish, whether that's juggling, or sewing, or swimming, or speaking, or being confident, or changing your life. It's about mastery, and that process is called the Mastery Loop. It's $497, but I give it away absolutely free as a bonus for those people who go and purchase the book. And so if they go and they buy the book right now and they have it sent to them, they can take their receipt code, go back to my website, put it in, they'll have the training even before they get the book.
Oh, this is so generous. Thank you so much. And I would have asked for if you have a special offer. This is your special offer. Thank you so much. Wow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I have another question, of course, a last question. And it is, when people reach out to you after listening to this episode, how can they help you? What can they help you with? What are you looking for?
Wow, that's a great question. I was just about to ask you something very similar. So that's good. You can answer too. I want to connect with people who like to help other people. There's plenty of foundations and philanthropic work and people who have issues, whether they're in AA or like Alcoholics Anonymous or some addiction center, or they're the support family in Al-Anon, whether they're homeless or helpless or needy in some fashion. Those kinds of people, if they can help in any way, shape, or form, or I can help in any way, shape, or form, I'm happy to. If people have needs and they want me to train or to help or to coach or to come in and speak, I'm happy to do that as best that I'm able. But I like it when people, when people just say hi and they're, because I like to get to know people, and I'm a people person in that regard. So, it's all good. I don't know what else to say about that, but let me ask you, how we met in the Napoleon Hill self-confidence week, but then you're now doing a podcast and you're reading Napoleon Hill every morning. What inspired, how did you get inspired to do what you're doing?
It was by intuition. So I started 2 years ago to follow my intuition. Before, it was like nonsense for me. I was suppressing this inner voice. I had an accounting company for 15 years with 6 employees, and I closed this company last year because I didn't want to do it anymore. So what I did was, I was traveling California first for 3 months. And then I even did a road trip from Los Angeles to Colorado Springs and back alone in the rental car. It was what I always wanted to do. So I am driven by my intuition, by inspiration. This is also the reason I started the podcast. It came in the middle of the night when I was in San Diego after my road trip in December. And then I asked all the people I knew from online also, like you came into my mind, your name, and everyone said yes. So I recorded over 178 episodes within 4 months. Yes.
Wow. So how can we support you? How do we share out your show, whether a guest or not? How do we support you?
Yeah, thank you for asking. So I'm just spreading the word, the message of Napoleon Hill, how to get successful, how to think, Think and Grow Rich is the book study I do in the morning. And you can also join my reading. I know it is like 8:30 Pacific time. It's in the evening, but for me it's morning, and there are recordings as well. This is what I built up, and then my new life, my travel life, my Californian life.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes, this is
So,
what.
one of the things about Napoleon Hill, one of the things that really touched me was a number of years ago, the family reached out to me and said, "Hey, we love what you're doing and we want to support you." And so his great granddaughter wrote the foreword for my book, Life on Your Terms. And I know other family members, JB uh, um, his granddaughter, great granddaughter Karen, and her mom and things like that, other family members. So to me that was so cool because Napoleon Hill has been instrumental in the change of so many people's lives. And look what you're doing, that kind of thing. It's what I'm doing because of Napoleon Hill. So it's that what goes around comes around, and it's all good.
Yes, and I have a question for you, because you mentioned about you are happy when people reach out and say hello to you. And I have a question, because I come from a place I was not talking or speaking at all. So I developed my skills in the last 2 years as well, and with my English language as well. So I was like, I was in a seminar about social phobia and how to solve that, So when I perceived myself at that time, I was afraid or too shy to reach out and say hello. What can you, what advice can you give to people if they see or listening, they listen now to you and they want to reach out, but they are so shy? What can they do?
Well, they can just do it. Usually what happens is that when people are shy or afraid, I mean, I don't necessarily want to use that word, but they are thinking or imagining, seeing or feeling that if I do this, there's going to be some negative consequence.
Mhm.
Okay. I mean,
Okay.
lots of things have negative consequences. I made a beautiful breakfast the other day. I was so delighted and thrilled. I carried it in the other room, dropped it right on the floor.
Oh.
It happens, right? It didn't work out the way I had hoped. And so I picked it up and I had something else. I could have spent the rest of my day complaining about it, but it wouldn't serve me. So and I write about a particular woman in my book who's agoraphobic for over a dozen years and had gone to everybody she could and couldn't get any help. And I worked with her over a period of time through phone calls, and she's driving around and living her life. And the reason for that is because you have to begin to imagine things going your way. And if they don't go your way, you have to be able to imagine that you can do something in spite of it or do something otherwise. If you stop with the I can't do it, or you stop with the worst case scenario, you don't get past it. So what people need to begin to do is give themselves permission to be able to imagine, to be able to think, to be able to sense, to be able to feel differently about the things that they fear. Because the fear isn't necessarily real. And all that fear is really is telling you, here's an opportunity for you that you've not yet explored.
Yes.
That's it, because it happens for all of us when we want to manifest, when we want to change something, when we want to make it happen. If we've never done it, our first response often is fear. Why is that? Because when we were in school, oftentimes if we didn't do something right or correct, we got reprimanded or we got it marked wrong. And so we learn to fear, doing things. Some people, are almost crippled by it. They because of how they were treated when they were children. But even those, so many of those, they go, look, you know what, this isn't serving me right now. I need to release it. I need to let it go. I need to forgive myself or whomever and begin to imagine a better day. When I was a kid and my parents would travel across the country, I would lie down on the back seat of the floor or the back seat or the floor of the car and go, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? I hated traveling. I hated getting in a car. I hated going. I was okay being there, but I didn't want to get there. And what I learned is I now, as an adult, I have a choice. I can either enjoy the journey to my destination because I may never get to my destination. So all I have is right now to enjoy. If I enjoy and get to my destination, well, great. So what I would say to the people who you ask about is if there's something stopping you, okay, it's okay. We're stopped by many different things. The question is how quickly or how soon or in how many different delightful ways can you discover yourself beginning to imagine doing it anyway and having it work out for you. In other words, if you think, well, today is a stormy day and it'll always be stormy, you're never going to go out of your house. But if you go, it's going to be sunny one of these days and I want to venture out, then you imagine how much fun you'll have on the outside. Let that draw you forward.
This
It
was.
also
Mhm.
Well, it all starts with an idea. So it was like what Hill says and everything. The only thing that we control in the world is our thoughts. And everything that humans have invented or created or utilized, whether it's the computer we're on or the spoon that you use to eat your food or the windows behind you, that kind of thing, have all come from an idea. So if don't ever let a thought stop you from doing something that would be good for yourself or other people.
Yeah, that's so true. So I had the thought to invite you for my podcast, and there we are, and it is materialized in the outer world. I'm so happy you were here. You are here. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Yes, this
And
was.
you know what? And thank you so much. And then pat yourself on the back because it's you who did it, you who created it, you who have made that happen. Had you not thought it in the first place because you had made some transitions, had you not thought it and then reached out, it wouldn't have happened. But because you did, here we are today. And how many great and wonderful things are you going to do today and tomorrow and the next day and the years to come that you can't even yet begin to imagine, but you will, and then you'll make those things happen.
We will. Thank you so much, and see you in the next episode.
In the next episode. Thank you, everyone, and support the share Caroline show. Push it out there. like, comment, do whatever, and then also tell me how I can support you further. Much love.
Thank you.